This is the only video you will ever have to watch if you want to become confident. This is the only video you'll ever have to see. First thing you're going to do is you're going to forget everything you think you know about yourself, everything you feel about yourself, how much you hate yourself. I don't care if you're insecure. Like, you are going to literally forget everything that you already know about yourself. Okay, we're going to start a clean canvas. We are basically going to be recreating ourselves. One thing that you need to understand about confidence is that it's mostly about security and acceptance. Security basically is going to come from knowing yourself. So knowing yourself and knowing your self-worth, and accepting yourself is going to come from loving yourself. It's going to come from a place of self-love. And like I said, loving yourself is a choice. If you don't love yourself, I don't care, Laura, oh my God, like, I don't love this about me. Like, I think I'm too this, I think I'm too that. That is a choice. You are choosing to hate yourself. You are choosing to dislike what you already are and what you have. That is a choice, okay? The minute you decide to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I am hot shit, like, I don't care what anybody says, that is also a choice that you make to now love yourself and become obsessed with yourself. Now, I want to make one point clear. I made a video on this on my TikTok. Confidence is not about walking into a room and thinking you're better than everyone else. And a lot of you seem to think that that's what it means. And that is where you fail. Because truly, confident people see right through that, right? Confidence is not walking to a room and thinking you're better than everyone else. It's walking into a room and not feeling the need to compare yourself to anybody else because you are secure in who you are. That is basically what confidence is. So now you're going to grab a pen and a pencil and you're going to draw it down or take notes on everything that I say so far, because these are the things that you are not going to do, okay? These are the things that you're going to have to stop doing in order to become confident. Number one, victim mindset. And the reason this is so detrimental to confidence is because when you see yourself, when you start to perceive yourself as victims of your own circumstances, you become weak, okay? You become weak, like, straight up. You start to think of yourself as an inconvenience. Everything, like, you get scared of taking opportunities. You don't take risks because you pity yourself. Everything is like, oh my God, but I can't do this. Like, this is so hard. This is so this, blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm so, like, unfortunate, whatever. Literally a pool of pity that you are swimming in, and you are going to fucking drown yourself in it if you don't get out of it. So I'm telling you right now, victim mindset, cross that shit out. If you don't realize that you have a victim mindset, what I mean by that, when I say a victim mindset, I mean if you feel bad for yourself. And I'm not saying empathy, like, you can have empathy for yourself, that's different. But if every situation that happens, you're like, oh my God, poor me, like, life is so unfair. Like, yes, life is unfair, babe. Welcome to fucking the real world. That's life. Life is unfair, life is hard. And if you keep crying about it every single time reality hits your face, you're not gonna go anywhere. You cannot evolve, you cannot make change if you remain with a victim mindset. And that goes for anything, but especially for confidence. If you wanna, like, evolve in the person that who you are and get rid of insecurities and become, like, a more secure person, get rid of this victim mindset, okay? Like, immediately. Number two, you're gonna stop talking shit about yourself. And the reason this is so important is because you can do your own research on this. There's an, but I will just give you the rundown. There's an experiment that was performed by Dr. Emoto. I think that's what his name. Basically, he did the rice experiment test, and I'm sure if you guys have heard of it before. The rice experiment is there were 3 jars of cooked rice, right? One that was a control, one had like a label, control, love, hate jar. For 30 days straight, the person went up to the hate jar and said hateful things like, oh my God, you're so shitty, like, you're nothing, like, you're gonna be nothing in life, you are worthless, like, blah, 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 a bunch of shitty things. To the control jar, they didn't say anything. And then to the love jar, they were like, you were the most beautiful rice in the world, like, you were so capable, you're so strong, you're so powerful, yada, yada, yada. After 30 days, the pictures of the results are absurd. And there are so many people on YouTube who have actually replicated that exact experiment with apples. Like, there's plenty of proof out there for you to see that this works. A jar with rice that had that was a control jar, so, like, nothing was said to it at all. The rice got moldy, but, like, nothing crazy, you know, like normal mold after 30 days. The love jar, the rice actually was intact, no mold, it was, like, pearly white. And the hate jar, the jar was literally filthy, like, filled with mold. So it was disgusting. And it goes to show, I think that the proof of this experiment was that the effect of words, because words have, like, carry, like, frequencies, and it's all about energy and vibration, but basically your words have the power to alter the molecule of water, I'm pretty sure, or the crystallization of water. It's something like that. Basically, your words has a direct effect on your 3D. Like, if you're the type of person who looks in the mirror every single day when you wake up and you're like, oh my God, I'm so fat, or like, oh my God, like, I'm so sad, like, I'm so depressed, like, guess what you're attracting? Guess what you're bringing more of? into your life, those things that you're speaking into existence. If you look at yourself and you talk shit about yourself, oh my God, I'm so dumb. Like, even in a joking way, like, I'm so dumb, like, I'm so stupid. That shit literally catches on, and you are going to start becoming those things, because regardless of if you realize it or not, you are literally reprogramming your brain to believe the things that you are constantly repeating to yourself in the mirror. It's literally called mirror work. It's like it's a thing. People do it. It's called mirror work. It helps you reprogram your subconscious. So the more you do that, the more you're reprogramming your subconscious to become the things that you do not want to become. Even if it's a joke, your brain doesn't understand that it's a joke. Your brain takes it really fucking literally. Number 3 is comparing yourself. Okay, I know it's such like a natural thing for us humans to do, which is like compare yourself to the next, or compare yourself to someone that you look up to. And that doesn't, I'm not saying don't have like someone that you look up to, right? That's different. Like, being inspired by someone is one thing, and then comparing yourself to someone with the intention of like, oh my God, they're better than me. You know what I mean? It's completely different, and you have to stop comparing yourself to other people, because it puts you out of alignment with who you want to be, and it puts you in the energetical field of like them, when in reality you should be giving yourself attention. When you compare yourself to other people, you are literally putting them on a pedestal. You should be the only person on your pedestal, because guess what? You can't fucking be them. So what are you comparing yourself for? Like, you're literally making yourself feel shittier and worse for no fucking reason. It's so stupid. It literally just sets you back. And for girls especially, I know it's so hard for you guys to like not. I know, because I used to be like this. I used to compare myself to everyone. Like, when I used to literally hate myself. I hated myself, okay? I was super insecure. At that point, I would compare myself to quite literally anybody. Like, literally anybody. You'll never be secure in who you are if you're constantly wanting to be someone else. You need to just embrace the fact that you are you, and comparing yourself to someone else is not going to make you become them. So just stop. Number 4, stop taking shit personally. I cannot emphasize this enough. If you take shit personally, you are now becoming victim of what everybody else says about you. You need to understand that people are constantly, and that goes for literally anybody, people are constantly projecting their insecurities on other people. That goes for you, that goes for your best friend, that goes for, it's a natural human thing. We can learn to, I guess, control it, we can learn to manage it and not project, which would be the correct thing, but a lot of people don't know how to fucking do that, okay? Not everybody is emotionally intelligent, not everybody has the capacity to do that. It's hard. Naturally, as humans, we project. So chances are, people are projecting on you. You need to be so sure of who you are, to the point where if anybody does say something about you, you know better than to believe it. It doesn't affect you because you know it's not true. What happens to a lot of people when they take shit personally, someone will say something about them and they will be like, oh my God, like, am I? Like, or oh my God, like, am I this? Am I that? Am I what they said I was? You need to not be so emotionally attached to what other people think of you. You need to become bulletproof in that sense. What somebody says about you should not make you doubt yourself and your own self-worth. It doesn't matter what they think about you. It should not affect what you think about yourself. Not taking things personally will become easier and easier once you understand the concept of the way someone treats you is a direct representation or direct reflection of how they feel about themselves. Once you understand that, it becomes easier to not take things personally. I can tell you, after years of practice, I don't give a flying fladoodle if someone talks shit about me. I know. What? They're probably jealous, especially if they don't know me. Like, if someone doesn't know you and they're talking shit about you, pray that your name tastes good in their fucking mouth. Like, why are they even talking about you? Like, they're fans. Like, that's fan behavior. Don't let it affect you. Now onto the things that you will do and that you will start doing. 1, we are going to create a good self-concept. Your self-concept is basically the who I am, right? So who do you perceive yourself to be? The reason this is so important and is probably one of the most imperative parts of becoming confident is because the way you perceive yourself is the way other people will perceive you. Which is why I said, if you're constantly talking shit about yourself, what do you think other people are thinking about you? You're gonna think whatever you think about yourself. So if you don't have a good self-concept, if you don't have a good idea, like a positive idea of who you are, I hate to break it to you, nobody will ever either perceive you as confident, or no one will ever treat you as if you were these good things that you were trying to be. A lot of you have a very shitty self-concept about yourself. Like I hear the shit you guys say about yourselves. A lot of you DM me on Instagram, which I love. I say all the time, like, you guys can please reach out for advice, like, all the time. I love helping. But you guys will DM me talking about your own selves in like the shittiest way. Some of you talk about yourselves as if you literally despise yourself. So you must have an awful self-concept about who you are. When you have that, it makes it very, very hard to become confident. The components of creating a good self-concept will come with the knowing who you are, or as in this case, since we are recreating ourselves, you are going to completely and utterly rewrite your self-concept. Erase everything that you already have on your list of self-concept or on the list of who the fuck you think you are, and you are going to recreate that. You need to have standards and boundaries, okay? Not only for other people, but for yourselves. And the thing is, a lot of you that have boundaries, the reason why you're not confident is because you don't respect your own boundaries. You expect everybody else to follow them, but you. How do you expect other people to respect your boundaries if you don't respect your own? It's common sense, okay? It's common sense. Positive self-talk. These are the components of how we're going to build a better self-concept. We are going to establish boundaries. We are going to figure out what the fuck it is that we want, right? We're going to develop a good mindset, and we are going to only talk about ourselves positively. I could do another video on that about like affirmations and whatever, and how I've like talked myself into becoming the person that I am. Positive self-talk. I am important. I am worthy. I am loved. I love myself. Positive self-talk. Okay, I can do another video on this. Second thing that you are going to start doing is shadow work, journaling. I don't care if you don't know what shadow work is. It basically means just diving deep into like journaling about who you are, like your childhood, and like I guess figuring out who you truly are and your inner child. And a lot of the reasons why you are insecure today is because of things that happened to you in your childhood. So it took me a good amount of time of journaling and really getting to know myself and diving deep into like journaling to understand where my insecurities comes from. Identifying like the causes of it and like the fears that you have that lead to these insecurities, you will then be able to identify what triggers them, which eventually will help you heal those triggers and no longer be triggered and like, I guess, relapsing and falling back into the insecure version of yourself that you're trying to let go of. Number 3 of the things that you're going to do is prioritize yourself and respect yourself. It sets the example for how you expect to be treated. I hate to break it to you, but the way you treat yourself sets the example for other people on how they think they can now treat you. If other people are seeing that you are constantly treating yourself with disrespect, constantly breaking your own boundaries, they will feel like they can do the same thing. And I've made a video on this before on my TikTok. Disrespecting yourself can mean a lot of things. It can mean talking shit about yourself. It could be staying in a relationship that you know you need to get out of, so on and so forth. It could literally be so many things. But the minute you decide to disrespect yourself, you are now setting an example and saying to other people basically, yeah, you can come along and do the same thing. You set the example of how you want to be treated. And it starts by how you treat yourself. Now that we've gone over the do's and the don'ts on becoming confident and the things that you need to start doing and things that you need to stop doing, I want you to get a very, very good picture, a very clear vision of what the most confident version of you looks like, okay? Like literally sit there, close your eyes, like what does the most confident, powerful, amazing version of you looks like? What does she do every day? What does her morning routine look like? Does she exercise? What goals does she have? We're going to make a list of those things, or you can do whatever you want, but like a bullet point, whatever. A list of what that person, what that version of you is like. You are going to do those things every single day. Start showing up as her every single day. Every single day. I don't care if at first it feels unnatural. I don't care if at first you're like, yeah, but I'm not confident. Like it's hard for me to show up as that. I don't care. You're going to fake it until you make it. You're going to do it for at least 30 days in a row. And the reason I say this is because if you show up as that every single day, eventually you will become that. You've conditioned yourself to believe over repetition that this is how you should be. So the insecurities that you have, or like everything that you don't like about yourself, you have established through a means of repetition. We are beings that form habits, okay? So eventually, if you repeat this version of yourself over and over, you will eventually, by default and by nature, become that. You will become her or him. I don't know who's watching this. Don't make excuses for yourself. I don't care. Does the confident version of you make excuses for herself? Probably fucking not. So stop it. Cut the shit. Show up as her every single day. Do the things that you would want to do if you were already that person, and you will become her. You are going to be in alignment. That is basically what you're doing. You are putting your current self, which you are trying to let go of, into alignment with the version of you that you want to be. And like I said, confidence is a choice. You need to make the active choice to show up as that every single fucking day. It means making decisions that that person or that version of you would make. We're basically going to implement the brain of that version of you into yourself right now, and you are going to live with it for the next 30 days. And now that you already know everything that I've already taught you, after 30 days, I want you to come back to this video and I want you to post a comment and I want you to tell me if you don't feel like a completely fucking different person.